Wait, stop scrolling. What if the voice in your head isn't truly yours? The doubt, the fear, the silent pressure telling you you're behind. You didn't create it, you inherited it. And in the next few moments, something will click inside your mind. Stay. Because what you're about to realize might completely reprogram how you see yourself forever. Have you ever noticed something strange about your mornings? You wake up, the world is quiet, nothing bad has happened. Yet your mind already feels heavy, no crisis, no failure, no real reason. But inside your head, a voice slowly starts talking. Something isn't right. You're falling behind. Everyone else figured life out except you. And without warning, your energy fades. Your motivation disappears before the day even begins. It feels personal. It feels real. It feels like you. But here's the unsettling truth. You didn't consciously create those thoughts. Science shows that nearly every thought you experience is generated automatically, shaped by past memories, fears, social conditioning, and survival patterns stored deep inside your brain. Your mind is constantly predicting danger, replaying old experiences, and preparing for problems that may never happen. It repeats familiar thinking because familiarity feels safe. Even when those thoughts drain your confidence, even when they create anxiety, even when protection slowly turns into emotional pain. Your brain isn't trying to hurt you, it's trying to protect you using outdated rules. And once you understand this, you stop blaming yourself and start understanding your mind. Your brain was never designed to make you happy, it was designed to keep you alive. Thousands of years ago, survival depended on one thing: spotting danger before it arrived. Early humans who expected threats lived longer. Those who relaxed too much didn't survive. So your brain evolved with one powerful rule: better to imagine danger than ignore it. Fast forward to today. There's no predator outside your door, no life or death crisis waiting every morning, yet your brain still operates like you're living in the wild. It scans constantly, searching for problems. But modern danger doesn't look like a tiger anymore. Now it appears as comparison on social media, regret over past mistakes, fear about an uncertain future, worry about what others think of you. Your heartbeat rises, your thoughts race, your confidence drops. Not because you are weak, but because your brain is running ancient survival software inside a modern world filled with psychological triggers instead of physical threats. Your mind isn't malfunctioning, it's simply following old programming written for survival, not peace. And once you realize this truth, you stop fighting yourself and start upgrading the system running your life. Here's the part nobody warns you about. The negative loop doesn't start with a big problem. It starts with one small, random thought. Maybe it sounds like this: I'm failing. I'm not enough. Something is wrong with me. The thought appears instantly, without permission, without effort. That's step one. Step two happens automatically. Your brain assumes the thought must matter because it showed up, and anything that feels emotionally charged gets labelled as important. So your attention locks onto it. Then comes step three. Emotion arrives. Anxiety tightens your chest. Stress speeds up your breathing. Sadness drains your energy. Now the thought feels heavier, more convincing, and here's where the loop becomes powerful. Step four. Your brain begins searching for evidence. It scans memories, past failures, awkward moments, times you doubted yourself. And of course, it finds proof, because the brain is a confirmation machine. Once it chooses a story, it collects evidence to support it. Suddenly the thought feels undeniable, not because it's true, but because it has been repeated, reinforced, and emotionally charged. Your brain isn't chasing truth, it's chasing familiarity. What repeats feels real. What feels familiar feels safe, even when it hurts you. And without realizing it, you aren't thinking anymore. You're looping, living inside a story your brain learned to replay long before you noticed it. Here's the truth that makes most people uncomfortable. You are not thinking your thoughts, you are experiencing them. Thoughts don't ask permission before appearing. They arrive automatically, like background noise you suddenly notice. One moment you're calm, the next moment doubt appears, fear appears, Memories appear, worries appear. Not because you chose them, but because your brain continuously generates mental activity. Thoughts are more like weather than decisions. Clouds move across the sky without your control. Storms form without your approval. And in the same way, thoughts move through your mind. You cannot stop the first thought. You cannot prevent every emotion. And trying to control them often makes them stronger. But here's the power almost nobody teaches you. You don't control what shows up. You control what stays. Between a thought and your reaction exists a tiny moment of awareness. Most people miss it, but inside that moment lies freedom. You can observe instead of react, pause instead of panic, choose direction instead of drifting. And the instant you realize this, everything changes. You stop fighting your mind and start leading it. When your brain enters a negative loop, when overthinking takes control, when your energy suddenly disappears, you don't need motivation. You don't need to fix your entire life. You don't even need to understand everything you're feeling. In that exact moment, you need one thing, an interrupt, because emotions grow stronger when the brain stays trapped inside the same mental pattern. Break the pattern, and the mind resets. Step 1, ground your brain. Right now, look around you, slow down, find 3 things you can see. Notice their colours, shapes, details. Now find 2 things you can physically touch. Feel the texture, the temperature, the weight. Finally, listen carefully. Identify 1 sound you can hear. Something powerful just happened. Your brain shifted from imagination to reality. Anxiety lives in the future. Regret lives in the past. But presence exists only here. And when your attention returns to the present moment, the stress response begins to calm naturally. Step 2, the fake smile. Trick. This might sound strange, even silly, but neuroscience confirms it. Gently force a small smile, even if it feels completely fake. Your brain reads body signals before emotional meaning. When facial muscles activate a smile, the brain interprets safety. It sends a message, threat level reduced. Within seconds, calming chemicals begin releasing. You didn't solve your problems. You changed the biological signal your brain was receiving. And sometimes, that's enough to stop the spiral. Step 3, name the emotion. Now say it out loud. I feel anxious. I feel overwhelmed. I feel sad. Notice the difference. You are no longer inside the emotion. You are observing it. Labeling emotions activates the rational part of your brain and reduces emotional intensity. The feeling becomes something you experience, not something you are. And the moment you observe an emotion instead of becoming it, its grip weakens, your mind slows, your breathing softens, control quietly returns, all in less than 15 seconds. Because sometimes, a small interrupt is stronger than a big solution. Here's the shift most people spend their entire lives missing. You don't control every feeling that appears inside you. Fear will show up, doubt will show up, uncertainty will show up. That's human. But power begins the moment you understand this. You control your response. Confidence isn't the absence of fear, it's movement despite fear. Strong people aren't fearless, they aren't mentally perfect. They simply discovered one life-changing truth. A thought is not a fact. Just because your mind says you can't doesn't mean you must stop. Just because your brain predicts failure doesn't mean failure is real. Your brain generates noise automatically, but your awareness decides which voice gets authority. You are not powerless inside your mind. The thought may appear without permission, but the direction of your life still belongs to you. Now imagine living differently. A negative thought appears, just like before. Maybe doubt, maybe fear, maybe that familiar voice telling you something is wrong. But this time, you don't react automatically. You pause, you take one slow breath. You create space between the thought and your reaction. And in that small moment, everything changes. Instead of spiraling deeper, you interrupt the pattern. The thought is still there, but it no longer controls you. You stop being pulled by every emotion. You become the observer, the one watching the storm instead of standing inside it. You realize something powerful. You are not your thoughts. You are the awareness behind them. Now you choose where your attention goes. You decide which thoughts deserve energy and which ones fade away. It feels like picking up a remote control you never knew you had. Volume down on fear, pause on overthinking, play on clarity. For the first time, your mind becomes a tool, not a prison. And that feeling, that quiet sense of control, that's freedom. So the next time your mind feels heavy, pause. Don't panic. Don't fight the thoughts. Your brain isn't against you. It's protecting you with outdated survival rules. You never needed a perfect life, only a small interrupt, because your thoughts were never the enemy. They were just background noise. And now, you finally know how to lower the volume and take control again.